Over the next few minutes, we're going to pull back the curtain on a really powerful and frankly underutilized financial strategy. Now, this isn't some sales pitch. Think of it more as a strategic briefing, a high-level look at how you can turn one of your biggest expenses into a brand new source of capital.
Right out of the gate, let's just shatter a core assumption. Every single business owner, every CFO, you look at payroll taxes, we're talking FICA here, and you see it as a fixed, unavoidable cost. It's just part of doing business, right? But what if I told you that's not entirely true? What if there was a completely compliant way to restructure that liability?
So how on earth is that possible? How can you impact what feels like such a fixed expense? Look, this isn't about some sneaky loophole. It's about using a federally incentivized mechanism to legally redirect tax waste that is already leaving your company's bank account.
And this is an absolutely crucial distinction to make. We are not talking about another line item in the HR benefits budget. No, this is a C-suite, a CFO-level conversation about pure financial strategy. It's all about leveraging long-standing IRS codes, specifically Section 125, just in a much more efficient way.
Okay, so let's get into the actual mechanics of this thing. The entire framework is built on a federally subsidized strategy, and it's designed to encourage preventive healthcare. The government is basically willing to spend money now through tax incentives to help create a healthier workforce, because in the long run, that reduces the strain on Medicare and Medicaid. It's a smart play.
The heart of this strategy is something called a SIMERP. It stands for Self-Insured Medical Expense Reimbursement Program. In simple terms, a properly structured, totally IRS-compliant SIMERP lets a company reimburse its employees for preventive healthcare expenses, tax-free. And that tax-free part, that is the key that unlocks this entire play. And here's how the money flows. It's actually a pretty brilliant four-step process. First, employee dollars get redirected into a pre-tax Section 125 plan. Right away, this lowers the company's total taxable payroll. Now, because the payroll is lower, the company's matching FICA tax bill, it drops instantly. And here's the magic. Those FICA savings are actually more than enough to completely fund the entire benefits program.
So the most important thing to get here is that this creates a true win-win scenario. Let's actually look at the hard numbers for both the company and the employees, because this is a genuine zero net cost program that, believe it or not, actually generates a profit.
For the employer, the bottom line is a net profit of exactly $53.33 per participating employee every single month. That number is constant. So for a company with, say, 100 employees, that's over $5,300 a month. You got 1,000 employees? Now you're talking over $500,000 a year in pure FICA savings that goes directly to the bottom line.
Now, what about the employee? Will they see an average increase in their take-home pay of about $150 per pay period? I mean, just think about that from a retention standpoint. You're essentially giving your whole team a significant raise, and it's not costing the company one red cent. In fact, you're getting paid to do it.
This slide just lays it out so clearly, a simple before and after. On the left, you've got a standard paycheck. On the right, same employee, but after the program's in place. Now notice the gross pay. It's identical. But because of that pre-tax structure, their total deductions are lower. And bam, their net pay goes up by over $150. They see more money in their bank account like right away. And on top of that raise, they and their families, we're talking up to 5 dependents, get access to this really robust suite of preventative care benefits at absolutely zero out-of-pocket cost. Think 24/7 telemedicine, mental health resources, even free generic prescription meds. This stuff also helps shift claims away from your main health plan, which can actually help lower your renewal premiums over time.
So all of this leads to a pretty logical question, right? If this thing is so great, why isn't everybody doing it? Well, the answer comes down to complexity and the absolutely critical nature of compliance. This is not something you can just, set up on your own. Let's just tackle the elephant in the room head on. Most CPAs, they're experts in corporate tax returns, not ERISA law. And most HR departments are laser-focused on benefits administration, not payroll tax strategy. This whole thing falls into a highly specialized niche that really requires its own dedicated infrastructure. And the landscape for this strategy, it shifted, dramatically in May of 2023. The IRS Chief Counsel put out a memo that basically put a giant magnifying glass on certain types of these programs, especially the ones that looked and felt like fixed indemnity plans. And this effectively just raised the bar, creating a new, much higher standard for compliance. It really separated the legitimate, compliant providers from, everyone else. So here's what compliance looks like after that 2023 memo. It means having a dedicated team of Arista attorneys providing up-to-date tax opinion letters. It means having SOC 2 Type 2 certified data security to handle all that sensitive employee info. And crucially, it requires a participatory wellness model, not a fixed indemnity one. This is just not something an in-house team is built to manage. So, to put it as simply as I can, this is not an HR issue. It's a very sophisticated payroll tax strategy. And to execute it correctly, you really need a third-party administrator that has a compliance infrastructure built specifically for this one purpose.
All right, so what's the next step? It's really simple, it's data-driven, and it comes with absolutely zero risk or obligation. It's all about just getting some clarity on what this could mean for your specific company. I really love this quote because it just perfectly captures the next step. It's not a sales pitch, it's a simple process to see if you're eligible. We run the numbers, we show you the exact impact, and then you decide if it makes sense. And if it doesn't, you walk away, you've lost nothing, and you've gained some really valuable insight.
So the whole thing starts with a complementary analysis. All we do is look at some anonymized census data from your payroll, and from that, we can generate a super granular proposal. It'll show you, down to the penny, what your FICA savings would be and exactly how much each employee's take-home pay would go up.
And of course, data security, it's absolutely non-negotiable. Any data you share is handled through fully encrypted, secure links by an administrator that is SOC 2 compliant. I mean, this is the same level of data security that major banks use. It just ensures your employees' information is protected at the absolute highest level.
So, the path to unlocking this hidden capital that's just sitting in your business, it starts right here. To get your complimentary, completely zero-risk analysis and to see the exact numbers for your company, the person you'll want to reach out to is Jason Scott. Thanks so much for your time.